So what I've learned today, so early in the day, and I should have learned this a long time ago, but the wisdom that comes from children makes you think twice, makes you ponder more, I think. And my husband's, of course, told me this a billion times that I shouldn't let everything get to me. And I've said this in a couple of videos that I have a tendency of doing that, but I think what it is I take being a mom so seriously, and I overanalyze everything I say, everything I do, everything they say, everything they do, even though they range from 4 years old to 8 years old, almost 9. They're children. My husband, with a smile on his face, has to remind me this often because I talk to them as though they're mature enough to understand what I'm saying and what I'm trying to appeal to them. What my daughter said to me this morning was, Mom, just pretend it's a bully situation, okay? Like, I say something, it hurts your feelings, just shake it off. Just pretend it doesn't bother you, and then you won't be such a big target. I mean, I'm so glad she's so aware of bullying and that it's a real thing and that it does cause harm and that there are kids out there that don't understand. And maybe they do understand what they're doing hurts people, but that it usually comes from someone who's hurting. And back to that whole kill 'em with kindness thing, like the fact that she said that to me, my 8-year-old, almost 9-year-old, and referencing herself in that, like almost putting herself in the bully scenario in this example, it is kind of wise though, right? Because there is no reason to overanalyze everything. I understand the need and desire to want to make contributing adults in society. Like when they leave this house, I want them to be contributors. I want them to, bring glory to God. I want them to have the highest character and integrity. I want them to consider others before themselves. All these things that I find important and different, something that would set them apart, something that would show light in darkness. Not every word that comes out of their mouth, not everything that they do is going to impact that goal necessarily. And so while I think that women automatically kind of think more about the consequences in life and are always 15 minutes ahead, handling objections before they become objections, preparing for disappointment, all these things, sometimes you just have to let go and trust, right? And the fact that she said that to me, such wisdom, I have to believe it came from somewhere and I needed to hear it. And I can't say that it's going to happen right away. I can't say that I'm going to fully put that into practice right away. Because again, I mentioned my husband's been telling me this since I became a mom. And it's, I've always been a pretty laid back mom when it comes to certain things. Not routine. I feel like routine is important. Now it's a little bit more flexible, but like I have great sleepers. They don't come in and bother me. So yeah, there's a lot of things I did right. I feel like things that I didn't really bend on. But now I think as they're getting to a training phase in life, not so much discipline. I mean, they're still disciplined, but they're more in a training stage. I feel like I'm learning just as much as they are. I'm in the training stage. And I welcome that. I have to, because you know what? I have just as much to learn. She made me a mom. I wasn't a mom before she was born. And so, like, I'm still learning too. And so I really appreciate that good word. I hope you do too, that you're not taking life too seriously. You're not going to screw your kids up. They make choices. They're their own people. And you have to believe you're doing a good job. If you're loving them, if you're doing the best that you can, trust that that is all you need to do. That's the only thing that's required of you, is to love them and to do your best. And so I vow to do that for my kids. I pray and imagine you will be doing the same. But don't get discouraged. Just trust. Just trust that as you, and I think why I might feel a little bit of shame and guilt on occasion, or I overanalyze things, is because I know in my heart that even though I just said you can't screw up your kids, sometimes I feel like I am, because my response is not always the right response. I want them, Dave made a very good point. My husband made a very good point. He's like, Sarah, I want them to come back. I want them to want to come back when they're gone. If they're out of this house and they don't come to see us, maybe we should have lightened up a little. And when he says we, he's being kind. He means me. So I want them to come back. It's hard to imagine that phase in my life, though, because they're so little, that's going to be a ways away. So I just want to encourage you to just do the best you can, love as hard as possible, and pray for your kids, because you know what? This is a cruel world. This world is out for itself, and so there is preparation that needs to be taught. There is equipping that we need to do for them, but we also need to love them. I think that's what they need the most. Time, I've been told, is how you spell love too. Time. So consider that too. Hopefully you're encouraged by that. Sometimes you just have to shake things off. Sometimes you just have to let things go and trust that they're learning the big things, that you major on the majors, not on the minors, and that you enjoy this life as much as you can. They say it goes away in a blink, like they're gone in a blink. And while some days I am like, really? Because it's not happening. Why aren't they gone yet? That sounds terrible, but that's how I feel. The days are long, the years are short. So just revel in every moment you can and learn along the way. That's what I'm trying to do.